Okay. Good morning, beautiful people. It is Valentine's Day, and I have just completed my assignment, my task, and I finished the book of Song of Solomon, going through each chapter. Yeah, and so I caught something else though, and this is really sad. It's a sad truth, but honestly, like, it's good to it's good to see this, and it's good for warning. It's good for just a reality check, and it's yeah. So let me see. Where was it? So in Song of Solomon, at the very, very end, she says to Solomon, right? She calls him Solomon. She says, "My own vineyard is before me. You, O Solomon, may have 1,000, and those who tend its fruit 200." She's saying, like, I have my own vineyard. You may have 1,000, but I have my own. And so she sees her value. And Solomon, what's with this 1,000, right? Well, in the chapters before this, it says that he says there are 60 queens, and 80 concubines, and virgins without number. So that's where he's at when he meets the Shulamite. But when we read to 1 Kings chapter 10, the Queen of Sheba praises Solomon, right? And she says, the Queen of Sheba, she comes to visit Solomon to see, like, is he really all that? Does he really have all that wisdom? And does he really have all that wealth, right? And she sees that he very much does, even more than she thought. And she says, "Blessed be the Lord your God, who delighted in you, setting you on the throne of Israel." So he's like, your God, he delights in you. And he said those very words about the Shulamite, right? But look here, your God delighted in you, setting you on the throne of Israel, because the Lord has loved Israel forever. Faithfulness. Therefore he made you king to do justice and righteousness. So that's what she says. Next chapter, chapter 11, but King Solomon loved many foreign women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sinaites, and Hittites, from the nations of whom the Lord had said to the children of Israel, "You shall not intermarry with them." Oh crap. I'm gonna sneeze. Guys, like I say, whenever I sneeze, God is saying something, guys. You shall not intermarry with them, nor they with you. Surely they will turn away your hearts after their gods. Solomon clung to these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Yeah, what does that add up to? 700 and 300? 1,000. 1,000. You, O Solomon, may have 1,000 vineyards, but I have my own, right? And so, for it was so, when Solomon was old, and the thing about this was that, like, God, like, literally said, it was a command, right? And God said it very clearly to him, if you follow my commands, if you're, like, in covenant with me, like, I'm going to be with you. But he broke that covenant. So for it was so, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not loyal to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Sinaites, and after Milcom, the abominations of the Ammonites. And Ashtaroth is like the god of, like, sex, pretty much. Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and did not fully follow the Lord, as did his father David. Then Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, on the hill that is east of Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the people of Ammon, which is, like, deals with, like, killing children. Abortion is connected with Molech. And he did likewise for all his foreign wives, who burned incense and sacrificed to their gods. So the Lord became angry with Solomon, because his heart had turned from the Lord God of Israel. Rightly so, right? Who had appeared to him twice. God had appeared to him twice in his dreams and in the night, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that you should not go after other gods. But he did not keep what the Lord had commanded. Nope. Therefore the Lord said to Solomon, because you have done this and have not kept my covenant and my statutes which I have commanded you. And what were these things? What were these commandments here for? These commandments were protection. These commandments were to keep a wholeness and a purity for love, right? They had to follow these commandments. And with Israel in the old covenant, there's so many, right? There were so many things. They can't do this, can't do that, can't do this. Because at that time, they had to follow these things to remain true to God. But in the new covenant that we're in now, God puts his spirit in us and writes his law upon our hearts and our minds. So we get to know him intimately, because his spirit is with all of us, right? We receive him. So it's a new covenant that we're under now. But in this one, they needed to follow these commandments. And he did not do that. And he said, I will surely tear the kingdom away from you. Because you have done this and not kept my statutes and which I have commanded you, I will surely tear the kingdom away from you and give it to your servant. Nevertheless, I will not do it in your days for the sake of your father David. I will tear it out of the hand of your son. Wow. So, dang. So the big question here is, where is your heart? Where is your heart? Because, like I said, love trumps things, right? So you could have all the wisdom in the world, but what you love is what you choose, right? And that's what happened to Solomon. And at the very end of Song of Solomon, the Shulamite says, make haste, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or a young stage on the mountains of spices. She was still calling for him. Right? But and that's like God, though. That's like God. Even when we turn away from him, he's still calling for us. He's still calling for us. But not everybody's gonna choose him. Not everybody's gonna listen. Nope. The road is narrow, right? Not many find it. Yeah. So yeah, that's the question. Where is your heart? Where is your heart?